Hopefully it doesn't fall. Hopefully. We are in the kitchen. Good morning. Hey guys, good morning. It's lovely Saturday. Welcome back to the lovely weekly vlogs. I haven't posted in last week, so I apologize about that, but we're going a little bit different. We're going to take down my hair. I've had this style up since about to be 2 weeks, and that's way too long. I never keep a style in my head past a week. A week is pushing it, to be honest, because it starts to look raggedy. I feel like my locks are getting smaller, thinner, you know what I mean? I like the thickness of it, so I try not to do my hair as often as possible. So it's time for this style to come out. So right now, maybe we can do something different, like a little chit chat video or whatever. And since this is about my locks, we can do a chit chat video about why I have locks, basically. What made me start them, why do I still have them, and will I keep them? So come with me. We'll be going, we ain't going nowhere. Come sit down with me. I got my cup of coffee already. And I'm making breakfast for my little man while he still sleeps. We're gonna try to record this video and do this video while he's still asleep, while taking down my hair. Okay, so we're gonna take down the hair. I don't do a lot of much when I'm taking down my hair. It's super simple. I'm just gonna use me some oil mixture that I mix up. This is coconut oil. It's about 6 different oils in here. My spray bottle just to keep my hair moisturized with rose water in it, and just a little bit of these are some growth serum drops my mom gave me, so I still use these here and there, but I usually put it inside of here. Other than that, let's take it down. The best thing about a lock takedown is the ended product. I love when I take my hair down and how it looks at the end. But I've always had many hairstyles. I keep saying that this is the last hairstyle that I'm gonna end with, and it is gonna be the last hairstyle I end with. I've had everything from afro, braids, box braids, crochet braids, wigs, weaves. Well, not so many wigs and weaves, to be honest. I wasn't that girly. And pixie haircuts, long hairstyles. Like I basically had them all. I pop pictures up of different hairstyles that I had over the years if I can find some. My favorite was the I love it. My favorite was, of course, the pixie. I had that the longest. I love short hair. That was my world. So to bring you into the story why I have locks, to be honest, this was in 2018. I was working at Guess. I used to be a store manager at Guess Accessories in Aventura Mall. They closed down. All the Guess Accessories has closed down because they were pointless to open. But that's nor here nor there. I had a group of ladies walk into my store, and I had short hair then, and she walked in. When I say she had locks down to her ankles. Mind you, she was maybe like 5'3", 5'4", so she wasn't that tall. She was short, but to see her locks just beautiful, neat, long, down to the ground, and her just being in her own, how can I say it? Her own aura, her own space. Like she was everything to me. And she sat and she spoke to me, and she told me, "Why you like cutting your hair?" And everybody asked me that, which is crazy because hair is hair to me. Gone today is here tomorrow. If you can't have it, it's okay. This is not a armor. Hair is not an armor at all. I'm sorry. Some people it may be, but it's not. It's just something that we have, and that can be taken away or gone at any moment. So cherish it while you have it, but don't think that you're supposed to have it. That you have to have it. And I told her, like, I love short hair. I don't mind it. I like the way it framed my face and chased me. Like, I enjoy a pixie hairstyle. And then she looked at me and said, "It looks nice on you, but you should cherish your hair as your crown." You know what I mean? You should never cut your hair. You should want to grow it and pour into it and learn about your roots, basically. Let me know that I'm a queen, you know, that this is my crown, and I should not cut it. I should keep cutting it. And I heard her. I received her. I did. And that day, I didn't cut my hair anymore. I had a pixie, so I didn't cut my hair. I didn't cut it at all. I let it grow out at this point. I let it grow out for a nice little minute too. And I was letting it grow out. I was still relaxing my hair. I was still dyeing my hair and the whole nines, because I've always relaxed and dyed my hair since I can remember. So I was still doing that. But fast forward, okay, when she told me not to cut my hair, okay, but I still have to do my hair. Like, I still have to do my hair because I couldn't go outside without my hair done. So at this point, I was learning how to take care of my hair, transition it into natural, of course, because I was relaxing it, so I was trying to transition it into a non-relaxed hair, which is a hard process in its own. And then I needed to dye my hair. So when you have short hair, you want it to look like it's laid, okay? Fresh. I always had a fresh black dye. I always had a nice little trim cut and stuff. Like, I always made sure, and I knew how to mold my hair and relax it, so I did it on my own. The only thing I didn't do was cut my hair. And finding somebody here to cut your hair in South Florida was a whole nother task, but whatever. So one day I'm watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, catching up on my past episodes because I was working in retail at this point, so I always missed everything. So I'm sitting at my friend Charles' house, and I decide to dye my hair. I use this dye all the time, the Beijing black dye, Asian dye, whatever. I always use this dye because I like how it made my hair dark. So I'm in it. I'm watching TV, eating. I didn't got the dye in my hair, not even noticing that. I didn't put it all in, but I'm into the episode. An hour that went by, imagine. An hour that I didn't have this dye in my head. And I shouldn't have had it in my hair that long. Thinking about it now, it makes me laugh, but I was scared. So I shouldn't have had this dye in my hair that long. Mind you, all this going on, I had a scar on the top of my head, right here at the top. And mind you, I'm dyeing my hair. So I'm dyeing and stuff like that, letting it sit there, and I was like, oh snap, wait, this dye been in my hair for a minute. I need to rinse it out. So I can go rinse out the dye. I rinse out the dye, but I feel like a tingling feeling right where I said that scar was in the top of my head. I feel a tingling feeling. I didn't rinse out the dye, and I still feel like it's like a irritation, but I don't think nothing of it. Oil my hair, base my hair, whatever, mold it down, and I go home at this point because I didn't live with him. And I go home. So as I'm going home, I'm telling my boyfriend, now husband, who I'm with right now, that made my head hurt or whatever, did this and that. I'm like, so I gotta figure out what's wrong. Like my head is itching real bad. It's a scar in my head, and I don't know where it's from. Sometimes I tie these rubber bands so tight I can't even get them out. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, my head hurt, whatever, but don't, it's okay or whatever. I'm like, I'll be okay. So at this point, I gotta go to work. We lived in a studio apartment. Shit, as big as this little area, to be honest. It was a box. And we lived in an apartment, and we had a mirror at the door before we left out. So when we left out, we can check ourselves wherever we went to work, because we worked at the same place, sometimes the same time. So as we're about to leave out, before we're about to leave out, actually, he looks at me, and don't look at me. I already know whatever, my head hurt, whatever, it's okay. Mind you, but I haven't looked in the mirror. I go to walk out the door, I looked in the mirror. Bitch, when I say that my face looked like the little monster that they found on the Goonies, my face was swollen from like my forehead was extruding out of my head, I can't even describe it, because you could tell that I was allergic to something. And I knew it wasn't a dye because I use this dye all the time. I'm not allergic to this dye. I use dye all the time. What is happening to me? And then I actually think about, I gotta go to the doctor. He looked at me like, well, you didn't want me to say nothing to you. I'm like, what? You see how I look? I look crazy, babe. We go to the emergency room. His sister works at the main hospital that's right here. She get us in there super fast. Imagine, I'm covered up. I got the hoodie on me. You can't see nothing but my eyes because my forehead is it's like pulsating out of my face. And you can tell that it's moving down my face at this point. And I can feel it because it's itching. I want to itch. I go in there, they don't see nothing. I show them, they looked at me like, what happened? I told the lady, I was dyeing my hair yesterday, and I noticed I had a scar in my head. I let the dye sit in my hair way too long, and I didn't notice that scar until afterwards. She let me know, okay, this makes sense. You basically, not to say chemical poison, but I can't think of what she said. Basically that the dye was seeping through my bloodstream, the blood, whatever you call it. The dye was basically seeping in it by me letting it sit in my hair for that long. It was just festering. It was moving through my blood, my blood streams or whatever you call it. I can't think of the words in my life. And I'm looking at her like, what? And she's like, I mean, do you know what kind of dye? Yeah, I know what kind of dye I use. You know, I use it all the time. You know, this and that. Like, you can't tell me it's a bad dye or whatever. Blah, 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 period. So I wasn't hearing anything. And she's looking at me like, well, you know, this is what it's from. And what would you like to do? What you mean, what would I like to do? I'm prepared to cut this shit off if it need be. It's hair. I don't care. Look, before the pixie, I had a low fade. Kid you not. So it's like, tell me something else, sweetheart. Can you fix me or can you not? Because, bitch, I'm looking crazy, and I'm itching. Oh, like I wanted to rip my face off. That's how bad I was itching. So she said, no, you don't have to cut your hair. It's not that extreme, but you do need to be admitted, and we have to strap you up with an IV and the Benadryl to let it get out of your bloodstreams. Perfect. Like my whole life was like, because I thought I was dying. I thought I was cool. Everything that went through my mind just went crazy, you know, and I'm just like, this is not happening to me. So they put the Benadryl in me, everything like that. Now the Benadryl at the hospital, it ain't that over-the-counter Benadryl. Because every time it pumped in my arm, it felt like fentanyl almost. Because if you ain't had no fentanyl, when you're pregnant, they give it to you. Well, where you be in a coma? You be like, what's the candy in here? That's how sweet that is. That's what that Benadryl was. That Benadryl was working to the point where I didn't even have to stay overnight or be admitted. It was just literally just that that whole entire day I had to sit at the hospital. Now, me giving this story is telling you how it transitioned into my loc journey. After that, I was scared. I didn't dye my hair. I didn't perm my hair. I didn't use anything that was chemical based in my hair, period. When I say I went from non-natural to natural, I was natural because I was scared. I did not want that to happen to me again. I tried to prevent it. So that's the only thing I could think about to prevent it. At this point, like I said, I'm trying to get into figuring out how to do my own hair. And so I learned how to do box braids on my hair. And I learned first by the rubber band method, because that's the easiest way to learn if you don't know how to braid. And then I also learned, how to regular braid it. And it came super easy. It got to the point where I was really good at it. Like, I was eating it down. And it got to the point where I went home. My auntie was like, ooh, wee, them braids is wicked. What you see in the back is you. As long as the front is okay, I'm okay. And she just laughed at me because I was serious. Like, I can't see the back, so I'm trying to make sure they stay and they braided. Period, point blank. So I rocked braids for a nice little minute. Braids. I was doing 27 pieces. I was doing some doobies. Okay, quick weaves. A little bit of wig here and there. And then COVID hit. Okay. I can't go nowhere to get no hair. I can't even go get my hair done, which I really didn't do like that, but I still couldn't even have the option to do that. So thank God I was already learning how to do my own hair, because I had to do my own hair at that time. And mind you, I'm working at home, so I really don't need to do my hair, but I have to. I can't see it, but do you see it? A braid I'll be eating every time. Okay? Let me finish. So I couldn't go nowhere to get my hair done. And I always wanted to try something different. My mom always told me, you should put locks in your hair. And I was like, nah, I don't want to. I want to be able to switch up my hair, because that's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy switching up my hair all the time, because I would cut it in an instant. And she's like, you should do it or whatever. And my now husband, he had locks. And I know people see us and think that I put my hair in locks because of him. And that is not the case. Because if you would have asked me then, I wouldn't have even talked to him with them dreads, because I did not like... I didn't want to talk to somebody with dreads. I didn't say I didn't like men with dreads. I just didn't want to talk to... I didn't want to talk to nobody hair that... Nobody... Let me rephrase that. I didn't want to talk to nobody that was hair that was longer than mine. Because for a long time, I had a short pixie haircut, always. And it's like, no, stop talking to me. So I really never did talk to anybody that had hair that was longer than mine. Not that I hated men with dreads. I just had that, I guess, that insecurity about it, which is stupid now, but you know how you always have your, not to say red flags, but your, yeah, no. And that was my, yeah, no. It didn't have to be dreads. It was any hairstyle. I didn't want to talk to you if your hair was long enough. But back to the story. I just got into a point where I was tired of doing my hair. And I never really did my hair like that anyway. I was a very, it's done, it's done. If it ain't, okay. Okay, I gotta do it now because I got some place to go. But I didn't really, like, I wasn't that crazy person about doing my hair. So I was like, you know what? Let's try it out. And this was around September, right after September 11th. So September 12th was the day when I actually put my hair in locks. And who did it was my husband's mom. She started my husband's hair. She started her son's hair. She started a lot of people's hair, even her own. And you know, I wanted her to start my journey. Why not? And I asked her. She said, "Yeah." Imagine my birthday was in 2 weeks, so this was about to be a real new journey. Okay, so I went over to the house and I told her, and we started it from there. They were super thick and juicy. Okay, so I love when I first started my locks. And people hate that stage, which is called the ugly stage. It's only ugly if you make it ugly. At first, it was something that was unknown to me, something new. This hairstyle where I have to wait until it combines and it shapes, where the point where it's not looking messy. You know, it was a lot of new things I had to learn about it, in order for me to adapt and to accept that this is the journey I want to go on to, and I need to understand and love and learn my hair. So by that being said, we went over and she started it. She did it really fast. And imagine, this is natural hair at this point. My hair didn't move from the pixie, and it kind of came from, like, it kind of went right here on my ears, a little bit past my ears, or maybe a little bit lower than my ears was the length when I first started. So it was a nice little length, and I enjoyed it. When I did my hair, I ended up going to Chicago right after that. Every September, I go to Chicago for my birthday, because my birthday's at the end of the month, and I like to be home. No matter where I am, I want to be home on my birthday, just to spend time with my family, you know, friends that I've seen before, and I love the city. I kept it there. I enjoyed it and stuff like that. Then when I came back home, I said, I'm keeping it. I had so many compliments on just the starter locks, and I enjoyed that compliment because I felt like this was me. You know what I mean? So I said, let's go. Let's start on this new journey, and let's see where it takes us. This is going to be our last hair journey for the rest of our in due time. So we need to accept it, love it, and own it. And I did. As I said, we're doing COVID. I'm working at home, mind you. And then I'm also an independent contractor for Kaylin at the same time. So I'm in between doing my hair and not doing my hair. Going through the ugly phases and not going through ugly phases. Thank God I was going through the ugly phases during COVID because you didn't have to see me. Because it states, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, that you're not supposed to wash your hair. A lot of people don't wash their hair for the first year when they have locks. You don't have to do that. But some people do that when their hair when their hair doesn't lock fast enough, or like they want it to lock. It's a whole different process, and everybody's process and journey is different. Mine was different, and my husband's was different. You know, he didn't wash his hair at all for the first year. He does not wash his hair like that, period. What he does is maybe every 3 months, literally, and that's every 3 months when we wash, we retwist and we interlock. And I made that interlock, but I didn't wash my hair when I had it. So September, October, November, December, I didn't wash my hair. By December, my hair was already locked. My 4C is 4C. It's a southern 4C, okay, from the motherland, and it was already locked. Literally, within 4 months, it wasn't no taking this out of my head because it was it. Now, I had every different which way to go through the ugly phases. I had turbans, hats, scarves, and I did protective styles, of course, just to kind of go through the phase. I used to do faux locks. It depends if I was going somewhere for a long time and I had somewhere afterward, I would put faux locks in it because I didn't want to have to deal with my locks, with my actual hair. Or I would have a turban. I had a turban in every color. Red, blue, pink, gray. If I had whatever I had on, best believe I had a matching turban to go with it. Okay? Okay? If I had to go through an ugly phase, we are eating down on the ugly phase that I was. So besides that, what else did I have to do? So besides that, it was easy. Like, I loved everything. Bantu knots, I mean, long ones, short ones, two pigtails. When you first starting your locks out, that beginning phase is everything. You can do any kind of style. Like, kid you not. Not trying to say you can't do any kind of style when your hair is starting to get long or whatever, but it's harder. You know what I mean? Like, the styles don't stay. You got to figure out how you gonna put all this long hair into a bun. So it's just, you know, it's just a different experience. So I enjoyed the ugly phase, okay? I enjoyed it to the most. Sometimes I had days where I didn't. And sometimes I said, fuck it, because this is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be an effortless version of yourself, you know, natural. And I cold-heartedly believe in that when I have my locks. I want them to look like me, you know. I'm trying to, how can I say it? I don't need to think that I need to do all of this just to be me. All this extra, you know, fluffy shit to be me. I should be able to love how I feel, how I look, and that's it. And you should accept me as I am, basically. Back to the story. So, at this point, September 11th, we're going through the ugly phases. We're going through the ugly phases, and we're loving the ugly phases. At this point, when the new year comes, we decide that we're going to keep it. We're going to keep the locks. And that was already the case. We had them in since for 4 months at this point. You better be keeping them. So we kept them. I enjoyed it. Like, I really do. I really did enjoy it. I tried everything. At this point, I've well, wait. Okay, at this point, his mom was on the person who did my hair, and then I would retwist my own hair. As in, I have never been to a salon, never had anyone else besides my immediate family, and that's just only 3 people. I'll say 2, who actually has put their hands in my head and touched my hair. You know what they say, that hands, it's energy in there, you know. Others people energy, I wouldn't let them, I wouldn't allow them to put their hands in my hair, because I'm already going through a lot. I don't need what you're doing. I don't need what you're going through to come through me. So the next person who did my hair is my cousin Rosie. At this point, I was pregnant. Pregnancy and hair just should not go. We should literally get a voucher that's like a once a month maybe, or 2 weeks, that we should be able to go get our hair done for free. So I didn't twist my hair like that. I probably twisted a couple of times, but after that, after my hands started hurting, that was it. So she twisted my hair, and I enjoyed it. She said I was doing a good job. I don't use any combs. I barely use any brush. I just, when I'm retwisting my hair, washing it, I use my hands. I use my hands to part it. I use my hands to straighten it up. I literally do not use any kind of tools. So I enjoyed that. Like, I enjoyed her doing my hair and having that pamperedness, because I was pregnant and I needed it. But she did two strand twists, and I kept that in for a long time. Like probably as long as it's like a little bit over 2-3 weeks, because I was about to give birth for the next 2 months. And then the next time I did my hair again, it was me doing my hair. And the next person who else did my hair was, of course, his mom. And then my niece, she detoxed my hair so much. She hasn't twisted my hair, but I do not play around with people playing in my hair. This year I'm trying to change that, because I see different styles and want different styles, and I know I can do it myself. But I wouldn't mind going to a salon and get a nice detox, a nice clean blow dry, and a cute little twisted style. I wouldn't mind that, and I will do that one day. So I'm gonna definitely take you with me so you can see that happening. But back to the story. At this point, I'm loving my hair. Like, it just started flourishing. And not only did I love it, everybody else was loving it too. Like, people who be, I don't know, was loving it. I went home again, and my grandmother was living for my hair. Yeah, I love that on you, Alex. That, when the ancestors solidify for you, fuck what everybody else saying. And that's literally how I felt. My grandmother liked it, and my grandmother was a harsh critic. She ain't even like ripped jeans, okay? No piercings, none of that. Don't look like pajamas. You better not step out the house in the pajama pants, because she is eating you up. No curse words, but she gonna eat that ass up. So when she said she loved it, and my mother loved it, said it was perfect on me, that I should have always did my hair this way, yeah, I should have, knowing that I like to do my hair. So after that, that was it. We was locked in. We was locked in after that first year, literally. And every year since then, I've had a new lock. Maybe we can see them at the top. Some of them are kind of shorter, so a lot of them had came in at the top. And these are my lock anniversary locks. Every year I have one. This year, this is my new one right here, if you can see it. This is my new one, as of the point where it doesn't like to stay in the lock. It just likes to find its own world. So when I find those, I let them come out. I let them explore their true destiny and live on for the new year. We're coming up on our 5-year lock anniversary, which is September 12th. And this is no dye, no chemicals, not crazy styled all the time, barely any 2-strand twists, because I don't know how to do 2-strand twists yet. This is just love in my hair. Like, I love my hair. Like, don't get me wrong, like, It's not because I had these dreads, because I've always loved my hair. I love the naturalness of my hair because it was never going to be straight. So I enjoyed my kinky curls. But I don't know. It's something about having locks that really just change your whole personality, your whole mood, your whole demeanor. Like it really does. Like it's like you have to embody it. And I do. My sister and my nieces and my cousins, shit like that, they always joke around me, tell me I look like my cousin, my aunt's oldest daughter, Rachel. And you would have thought I was a kid sometimes because we were always around each other, but that's a lady who I always looked at. Look at me crying. What are you crying for? Only because it hurts because we don't talk to them. So I'm sorry. I'm emotional. A bad trait that I got from my mom. Hold on a second. But yeah, she's always gave me natural. I don't give a fuck about the world. This is me. With a little bit of crazy. And everyone says I look like her. At that stage of my life, she taught me how to wrap my hair in turbans. That's how I learned how to wrap my hair up. Is her teaching me. Sure, that's why I'm still here, about her letting me know that this ain't your world. You need to go and create your own world. And that's what I did. So I appreciate her. Despite us not talking, I appreciate my cousin. I really do. When it started, I can't stop. Yeah, I appreciate my cousin. But that's how I want to be. Just like myself. Just Alex, basically. Who would have thought having hair would be an emotional journey? Come on now. Because this has been an emotional journey for me. With growing my hair, with loving it and not and feeling upset and irritated when it's not managed like I want it to be managed, when it's not washed like I want it to be washed, when it smells like I don't want it to smell. Like, you know, it is an up and down battle. It is. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I'll accept it again every time. But back to taking my hair down. See, that's what's taking me so long. I'll be talking too much. But yeah, it's about to be 5 years on the 12th, and like I said, I wouldn't change it for the world. I love this hairstyle. Everyone else loves it on me. Everyone, which is crazy. What's sad part about it is that they love it when it looking raggedy, not when I do it. Only my sister gives me compliments when I do my hair. But other than that, like, I love this hair. I love it. Like, I'm trying to figure out how I can progress, of course, to make my locks grow longer, thicker, luscious. I even debated about dyeing my hair. The sun dyes it brown, of course, because that is exactly what it's from. Is the sun, and I want it to be more black, luscious. So, digging in my nose. I want it to be really black, luscious. So, I don't know. I don't want to dye my roots because it'll serve the whole purpose of me not being natural no more. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's not my intent. I don't want to dye the root of my hair. I just want to dye maybe half of the lock to make it just more darker, more blacker. I don't want to end my natural journey by putting dye on top of my head and making it change the texture of my hair. Nah, I'm okay with that. But I'm gonna try to do different styles right now on this 5 years. 5 years, let's see what the next 5 years is gonna take us. I wanna try different styles with me trying them at home. I wanna go to a salon and feel pampered. I wanna do the little lock jewelry, of course, the cute little sprinkles on the end. Of course, more protective styles, maybe another wig, because I did put a wig on at one point. I just wanna just keep exploring with my hair journey, like try different oils, actually quit being cheap and go online and buy different products. Not trying to say that I have to buy other people's products, but why not? Why be cheap? People take their time to curate different products to help me grow my locks and to keep them healthy, so I need to utilize that. It's not expensive, it's like $10. Other than that, we're just gonna keep pouring into it. Like the next era that I want to do with this one, if I can do it before the end of this year, would be great. Before November would be great because it'll make a year. My mom passed last November, and I cut all her hair off. Before she passed, she just washed her hair. She had two strand twists in her hair. A little bit of gray, a little bit of black, a little bit of red. My mother loves red hair. And I cut it off because I wanted to be able to keep her with me for the rest of my life. Even though I know she will be with me. But I wanted her hair. So I'm on a hunt. I am on a hunt to search for someone who's not charging me an arm and a fucking leg. Excuse my French. To interlock her, to add her hair, interlock her hair, if I'm saying it right, to my hair. I'm not trying to say I won't pay, but I'm not trying to spend $500 on you to do that. I'm not. And I just figure out how to learn how to do that shit my damn self. Oh God. But other than that, that's the next phase. And I would love to try to get that in my hair at this point because it's just a new journey. That's all. My mom always had, you know, her sister locks here and there, and I would love to be able to keep her with me. This was definitely a ramble chit-chat video about my hair, but that's what this is. This is a visual diary, and I'm here talking to you. If I was writing this down, I would be crying, writing it down, tears on the paper. So I'm okay. I'm okay with people seeing me cry and being vulnerable. That's life. Lets people know that you're human on here. That everything is not edited. Because I hate editing. But everything ain't edited, you know. Everything is still a little bit raw and natural. Now they say you're not supposed to. But you're not supposed to count your locks. And you're not supposed to. I don't know why. I'll try to find something to put it up on here to see why you're not supposed to count your locks. And if anybody is watching this, let me know why. Why are you not supposed to count your locks? I have. I'm only human. But I won't tell you how many. And I've only did it for like a half thing. When I'm having like a braid in a part, I just want to be half hair. That's all. That's me being crazy. Damn, I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah. Why are you not supposed to count it? That's crazy. My next phase in this hairstyle journey, as I said, of course, having other people, you know, try different styles and stuff like that. It's also getting my hair to be back thicker. I'm gonna try to post I'm gonna post videos, of course, the whole entire video, but I'm gonna try to show you how it used to look and how it is now. And this is probably for me during the protective styles, during the ugly phases, by making my hair thinner. Also doing this style, of course, with the 2-strand twists, which I don't do 2-strand twists, which is why I don't do this often. If I do this is like a I just retwisted my hair. Let's put it in the style. I want to have a bob, and that's really the reason why I do it, because I just want to have a bob. I really don't, I try not to. So I've been looking online and I've been seeing this oil called banana oil. But everybody sells something that say they can make your hair thicker. Excuse me, but I really want to try that. I've always seen that banana oil. So I really would like to try it to see how it is on my hair, because I don't use any heavy lock products in my hair. Everything is 9 times out of 10 has a water base, and it's either like an oil or if I do, it's probably like some hemp grease, because I like the way the hemp grease is, and I use that when I am retwisting my hair, the hemp grease, just to give a little bit more of a stick. But I really don't use too much crazy stuff on there. Let me come in, because clearly I'm just in a daze. But this was just a chit chat video. But look at me. I really do love my hair. And I love everything about it. From the discoloration, from the big ones, the small ones, the split end ones, the nappy ones, even the new ones. Happy birthday. But you can't tell me nothing. I love my hair. No matter what you may think or what say, it's mine. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.